Hey, James. We've talked about a bunch of different AI certs, but something I've been really curious about lately are the IBM ones. Like, they're such a massive player in the enterprise space, right? What's their whole angle with AI certifications? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, Emma. Great question, actually. IBM's approach, I'd say it's quite distinct, really. They focus heavily on practical application, especially within the enterprise environment. So when you're looking at their certifications, you're not just learning like theoretical concepts, are you? You're actually diving into how AI is deployed, managed, and optimized in real-world business scenarios, often with their own platforms like IBM Cloud and OpenShift. It's less about just the pure science and more about, getting it to work, scaling it, and integrating it effectively.
Okay. So, like, super practical, geared towards big business challenges? That makes a lot of sense for IBM. So, what are some of the standout certifications then? Are there, like, different paths depending on what you want to specialize in, or how does that all work?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where it gets really interesting, because they do offer quite a few pathways, actually. The two main ones, the ones I really think people should look at first, are the IBM Certified AI Engineer Professional and the IBM Certified AI Developer Specialty. The engineer cert, that one's for folks who are like designing, building, and deploying AI solutions, end to end. It covers everything from data prep to model deployment and monitoring. Whereas the developer one, that's more focused on specific coding skills, integrating AI services into applications, and really getting hands-on with the APIs and SDKs. So yeah, different lenses, but both incredibly valuable, depending on where you see yourself fitting in.
Okay, that's helpful to differentiate. So the engineer is more like the big picture architect, and the developer is more on the implementation side. Right. What about prerequisites for these? Like if someone's like thinking about jumping into the AI engineer professional cert, what sort of background or what skills should they already have under their belt before they even, consider signing up for the exam?
Right, really good point, Emma. For the AI engineer professional, you definitely need a solid foundation. We're talking strong Python programming skills, not just basics, but comfortable with data structures, algorithms, and using libraries like NumPy, Pandas, scikit-learn. You'll also need a decent grasp of machine learning concepts, supervised, unsupervised reinforcement learning, and an understanding of deep learning architectures like CNNs and RNNs. Plus, familiarity with cloud platforms, especially IBM Cloud, is super helpful because a lot of their tooling is built around that. They really want you to be able to hit the ground running integrating these models.
Wow, so it's not just like I've taken a Python class. It's pretty in-depth. And that makes sense given the professional title. What if someone's coming more from like a traditional developer background and they're looking at the AI developer specialty cert? Are the prerequisites similar or is it a bit different, like leaning more into actual coding for AI applications?
For the developer one, yeah, it leans more into the coding, absolutely. You still need strong Python, but the emphasis shifts a bit more towards knowing how to consume and integrate AI services. So less on building the models from scratch and more on how do I use Watson APIs? How do I deploy a model to a REST endpoint and build an application around it? You'd need to be comfortable with APIs, maybe some basic web development concepts, and certainly understanding how to interact with different cloud services programmatically. It's less about the theoretical ML depth, and more about can you make AI functionality a part of a larger application stack. But a good understanding of what AI can do is still paramount.
Okay, so you've got your background, you've decided which cert path you're going for. What's the actual exam experience like for these IBM certifications? Are they like all multiple choice or are there like practical labs you have to do? Because sometimes those can be a little intimidating.
That's a fantastic question, Emma, and it's something a lot of people wonder about. For most of IBM's professional level certifications, including the AI engineer and developer ones, you're looking at primarily multiple choice questions. But, and this is important, they're not just like rote memorization, are they? Many of them are scenario-based, so they'll give you a business problem or a technical situation, and you'll have to choose the best IBM tool or service or the most appropriate AI technique to solve it. So it really tests your practical understanding, your ability to apply knowledge. They're typically proctored online, a certain number of questions, a time limit, usually around 90 minutes for a 60-question exam, something like that.
Oh, scenario-based. That's good because it means you actually have to understand the why, not just the what. So how do people prepare for that then? Are there like official study guides or courses that IBM provides? Because sometimes it's hard to find really good, focused prep materials.
Absolutely, yeah. IBM is actually brilliant with their preparation resources. Their primary platform for learning is IBM Skills Build. It's free, actually, and it offers tons of courses, labs, and learning paths specifically aligned to their certifications. So if you're aiming for the AI engineer, you'll find a dedicated learning path there that covers all the objectives. They also have official documentation, reference architectures, and sometimes even practice tests on their certification program page. I'd really recommend starting with Skills Build. It's incredibly comprehensive, and you get hands-on experience, which is what these exams really test you on.
That sounds amazing, especially that it's free through Skills Build. That's a huge plus. But okay, let's talk about the big picture here. Why bother with an IBM AI cert? Like, what's the actual career payoff? Does it really open doors, or is it more of a nice to have on your resume?
Oh, Emma, it's absolutely more than a nice to have. In the enterprise space, having an IBM AI certification, especially one like the professional engineer, it carries a lot of weight. Think about it. IBM has a huge global presence, right? Businesses trust their solutions. So when you're certified by IBM, it signals to potential employers that you not only understand AI concepts, but you can also implement them using enterprise-grade tools and methodologies. It's industry recognition for starters, plus it really validates your practical skills. We're talking about roles like AI engineer, machine learning specialist, data scientist focusing on deployment, even AI solution architect. It really, really sets you apart in that competitive landscape, especially if you're looking at larger organizations.
So it's almost like a stamp of approval that you can handle, the big leagues of AI deployment. That's huge. And I guess because it's so focused on their own ecosystem, it makes you incredibly valuable to companies that are already using IBM tech, right? Is there anything else about the value that you think is like super important for people to understand?
Well, yeah, exactly. You've hit it on the head there. If a company is already leveraging IBM Cloud, Watson services, or OpenShift for their AI initiatives, then having an IBM certified professional is it's invaluable, actually. You already speak their language, you understand their tools, you know the best practices within that ecosystem. But beyond that, it also shows a commitment to continuous learning and staying current with cutting-edge enterprise AI. It's not just about knowing IBM, though. It's about understanding robust, scalable AI deployment, which is a universal skill. That kind of hands-on, practical know-how, that's what's truly valued, in today's market.
That's a really comprehensive view of it, James. So, like, who would you say benefits the most from these IBM AI certifications? Is it like someone who's already deep in data science, or maybe someone who's looking to pivot their career entirely?
That's a brilliant question, Emma. I'd say it's quite broad, actually. Existing data scientists or machine learning engineers, they can definitely benefit by validating their skills with an industry-recognized credential, especially if they're working in or aspiring to work in enterprise environments that heavily use IBM tech. But also software developers who want to integrate AI into their applications, or even IT professionals looking to shift into an AI-focused role. These certs provide a structured pathway to gain those essential practical skills.
If you've got some foundational programming and math skills and a real interest in AI, then it really offers a very clear career progression. It's not just for the seasoned veterans, you know.
So it's pretty versatile, which is great. It's not like a super niche thing. For someone listening right now who's feeling like, yeah, this sounds like me, what would be their absolute first step? Like after this podcast, where do they go or what do they do to even begin exploring these IBM certs?
Okay, so the absolute first step, no question, is to head over to IBM Skills Build. Just type IBM Skills Build into your search engine and you'll find it. It's totally free, as I mentioned, and it's where you'll find all the learning paths mapped directly to these certifications. You can explore the different tracks, see what skills are required, and even start doing some of the hands-on labs straight away. Also, check out the official IBM certification program website. That's where you'll find the specific exam codes, detailed objectives, and links to official practice tests. Those two resources, I'd say, are your go-to starting points. You know, get in there, poke around, and just start learning.
That's super actionable advice, James. And the fact that Skills Build is free, that really lowers the barrier for entry for so many people who might be hesitant about the cost of exploring a new career path. So thank you for highlighting that. Any final words of encouragement or a last piece of advice for our listeners who are considering diving into IBM AI certifications?
Yeah, absolutely, Emma. I'd say don't be intimidated by the enterprise aspect. While IBM's focus is on robust, scalable solutions for large organizations, the skills you learn are universally valuable in the AI field. They really emphasize practical deployment, which is a skill set that's in incredibly high demand, you know? And remember, the journey is incremental. You don't have to tackle the highest level certs right away. Start with understanding the fundamentals, leverage those free skills build resources, and build your knowledge step by step. The investment in an IBM AI certification, I truly believe it pays dividends in terms of career opportunities and just overall skill validation. Just take that first step, you know?
That's really inspiring, James. It sounds like a fantastic pathway for anyone serious about a career in AI, especially in a professional enterprise setting. I mean, the emphasis on practical application and the robust learning resources really make these stand out. Thanks so much for breaking it all down for us today.
My pleasure, Emma. Always good to chat about these things, and hopefully it's given our listeners a really clear picture of what to expect and how to get started on their IBM AI certification journey. It's an exciting field, and these certs can really help you make your mark.